What are you doing? What are you
I'm
doing?
reeling it back in for a second because we skipped now to the second half of the movie.
Yeah.
Second story, and we haven't covered all the first story.
I'm Dan Carlson, 1/4 of Us Three Blokes, which makes more and more sense every week.
You said we make more and more sense every week?
Yep.
How does that compute?
Not we make more sense. The term 1/4 of us. Never mind, John. It was a math joke.
That was a good math joke, Dan.
I play Sim.
I'm Dan Carlson, 1/4 of Us Three Blokes.
I'm John Kadolf, 1/4 of Us Three Blokes. And I'm rocking a tequila sunrise in a vintage Mickey Mouse cup.
Hi, I'm Dave Nesbitt, another 1/4 of Us Three Blokes. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to booze flex for a moment because my friend Dave Vosberg and I spent $83 and split a case of canned mead. So this is Havoc Mead. They're bright-eyed. It is a blueberry iced coffee mead.
Booze flex.
Okay then.
Damn. And we're also joined by...
I swear that this math is correct. I am 25% of Us Three Blokes. I am the Mad Hat Cat. And today, it's not a Shiner Bock, but it is a shiny. I've had one sip. A Shiner Ruby Redbird. Brewed in Texas, obviously. And I don't know. I guess I thought the Ruby Redbird. It's good for a horror movie, right? Red blood.
Right. If you are watching this and you're not a porn bot,
highlighted comment risk ending 16 hours ago. Are you 18 plus?
Like, comment, subscribe, share. Hum our theme song at work, which is what my buddy Carrie told me he just did, so it must be kind of catchy. I'm the guy that made that, so you could kick me a couple of bucks by buying it on Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Death Proof. 1/2 of Grindhouse.
Yes.
Hey, who's wearing the t-shirt?
I got our
2 great movies.
Yes. Oh, hey, look at someone else has got a Grindhouse t-shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how
for my Grindhouse shirt. It hasn't come.
I'm wondering how our merch got onto the Millennium Falcon.
Well, the Millennium Falcon, she's the fastest ship out there.
Yeah.
She can get where she needs to go.
Yeah. Well, it's the smuggler's shirt, that's for sure. So
it is a smuggler's shirt.
Yeah. So the Death Proof is Quentin Tarantino's feature-length contribution to the movie Grindhouse.
Yes.
I think the rest of you probably watched the theatrical extended version that was released internationally.
Yeah, then I sat down and I watched a 70-minute fan edit.
I lost.
Which was also really good.
Highlighted comment
I don't
risk
know.
ending 16 hours ago.
What did you
Are you
lose?
18 plus?
Happening.
Oh, maybe
Highlighted
Alderaan
comment
is
risk
gone.
ending 16 hours ago.
Image is
Are you
gone.
18 plus?
It's there,
Image.
but
Where are you?
That's no moon. Sorry.
I suddenly
Okay,
feel
I'm back.
as though
Sorry, I'm
so
back.
many have cried out and just disappeared into the darkness.
yes. John never lost the image. He just wanted to.
I did lose the image.
Dan, can you tell me?
John just loves to make me save everything in the edit. That's all it is.
You gotta have B-roll. You gotta have bloopers.
Catch it in the
How long is the theatrical cut versus the extended?
I'm not sure
director's
what the
cut
actual length is, but the extended version is like over 2 hours.
Okay.
The version from Grindhouse is like under an hour and a half.
Okay. All right. So in that case, I must have watched the extended version because I distinctly remember it being about 2 hours because I started at like 10:45, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Fuck. And then what happened? I got stuck in a brush.
You did get stuck in a brush, and here's the picture.
It does
Damn,
happen.
extended director's cut. I was so enthralled.
Okay, so that picture is almost as good as the Bigfoot picture. Put it up again. Put it up again. Right
Bigfoot?
now.
Bigfoot?
No, not
No,
the Bigfoot, but the big hair. Put it up
Okay.
real quick. Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Monstro.
So, Death Proof is the story of Stuntman Mike. And if you want to know what Stuntman Mike does for a living, he's a stuntman.
Or just ask the bartender.
Ask,
Yeah, the bartender knows.
Ask Warren, he knows.
Yep.
And basically, we follow four. Is it four girls? Were there four of them?
Yep.
Okay.
There's three in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
we kind of get one added in who ends up driving the three that we have
Yes.
gotten to know for like the first bit of the film.
Yeah. So
We got Jungle Julia.
we start with Jungle Julia, who has her own radio show, and she's a local celebrity. Every time you
Mhm.
drive past
Billboard.
her billboard, you're supposed to shout and.
Woo!
That was
and,
better than mine.
I have observed it in the wild. Can
Ooh.
confirm accurate representation.
And then they are also
Oh, yeah.
joined by Vanessa Ferlito as Arlene Butterfly, and the three of them are about to get really drunk and fucked up before they go to spend the
It's party
weekend.
time.
Spend the weekend at their cabin, and they stop at this bar, and they just chill, and talk, and it's a very Tarantino conversation fest.
Yeah, God. As always, this is one of my major mounts. I'm like, God damn, you are so good at dialogue. It hurts me.
What's great is that
You
it's
just have a true fucking talent for it.
He does, and what's great is that it sounds artificially created, but it also sounds real at the same time.
Well, it artificial, like in the sense that like it has that homage
It has
to
a
70s
rhythm.
exploitation films. Like some of the shit that it says, yeah, no, you give a bitch enough shots of Jaeger, she'll do anything.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that's lifted directly from some movie somewhere, I'm sure.
I think he probably just put Eli Roth in the scene, and that's what Eli Roth was talking about.
Oh yeah, this is hey, Eli talk.
Just having to leave the camera on. Boop, I'll be back.
It's like
You guys
Eli
just
Roth
keep
is like, you didn't put that in, did you?
No, Eli.
No, not at all.
But yeah, it almost like, what it reminds me of is Moonlighting. Whenever I think of Tarantino's writing, it reminds me of 80s Bruce Willis Moonlighting dialogue, where it's real rapid fire and
Yeah.
like, did I hear what I think I just heard? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But basically, the three of them sit and talk, and there's a guy at the bar named Stuntman Mike who's teetotaling all night and not drinking because he wants to. He has a reason for that. We find out later.
Yeah.
I'm
fucking nachos, man.
I'm teetotaling.
Wants to be clear-headed
Yes.
Yeah.
for the work, the
And
great work.
and he doesn't want to get a DUI for what he's about to do.
A girl at the bar asks, hints to him for a ride, and he says he'll give her one when he leaves.
That was Rose.
Yep.
I was going to say that was Rose McGowan, was it? I thought that she was Butterfly for half a second. I was like, that's not.
No.
No, there's Rose. There's Rose in the bar. There you are.
Yeah. And basically, he drives a what kind of car is that?
1971 Chevrolet Nova SS.
It's
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know it's a Nova. I couldn't remember the year. I actually looked up all the cars and put them in my notes.
Oh,
because
okay.
I used to own a 76 Nova, and so therefore that particular model will always be near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. So
the death-proof car.
It is a death-proof car, which is what they call a car in the stunt business that is something you can drive without dying in. It's been
very important,
tricked out very strategically so that there's a spot for the camera, and then there's a spot for the driver, and you can ram that thing into a wall at 100 miles an hour and still walk away.
It'll be fine.
But we learned as he's about to give the ride home to Rose that it's only death proof on the driver's side.
Yes.
Yes.
Forgot to mention that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But we can't skip the whole.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Now I gotta know. What are you saying that you're gonna skip?
Okay.
Oh, I was like, oh, this John Wayne impression, baby. I love you.
Yep. I have a
Russell.
book, and everyone goes in the book. Yeah. The poem is, the woods are lovely, dark, and deep, and I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. Do you hear me,
Hear
butterfly?
them, butterfly.
Miles to
Miles
go
to go
before you
before-
sleep. So
Okay.
who here has had a lap dance? Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Butterfly's lap dance?
The preamble was an 8, and I don't remember if there was an actual lap dance that occurred in the movie. So
Yeah.
there-
When you
it's
say
a-
preamble, are you talking about her starting
Oh.
the song on the jukebox
Yeah.
and working
Yeah.
her way towards him? Yeah, no, I actually thought like she was very confident going in, and then I think like she was desperately trying to hold on to that confidence while she was going about it. Like she accomplished the task, and less trained eyes might just call it woo, very good,
well,
and other folks might notice the subtleties of, are you getting nervous about this? Do you regret your decision a little bit? But like she has given it, like at the very least, A for effort, baby.
Yeah.
You are even making like really bold choices. You're doing them with confidence. So you're trying to sell it, and you're doing a pretty good job. I'd buy it.
So if you were receiving that lap dance, what would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
every lap dance always gets a 10 if I'm on the receiving end of it.
I don't do well with the 1 to 10. Just like I don't pick favorites well, I don't do well with the rate at 1 to 10 scale.
Yeah.
But
It was a
I don't know.
successful dance.
Numbers 7.
Okay.
So an average of the preamble, the main portion of it, the denouement,
Yes.
and the falling action.
Well, she's got a weird situation as a performer, as an actress there, because she has to simultaneously look confident and afraid.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and also she's wearing fucking flip flops.
Yeah.
As you do in
dancing
Austin.
flip flops.
As you do
I
in
would have
Austin.
kicked those off. Get on the balls of your feet.
I'd
If you
give it
would've
about a 8 and change.
See,
Yeah.
I think that's why
The
John was
warm-up
so.
really sells it for me, and then that right there. If you give me a good preamble on something, after that, at least shows
Appreciate it.
you're warming
Yeah.
up.
All right. I would give it a
that-
solid 8.
So that's what this was all about. John wanted to talk about the lap.
Just
I
wanted to
wanted
rate the
talk
lap
about
dance.
lap dance because that was, the lap dance is an important part of every person's life if
was
you
so-
receive one,
It was-
and this was a very important part of the movie because it shows what kind of person Stuntman Mike is, and the fact that he pushed so hard for that and then just does away with her.
It was so important that in the Grindhouse cut, the scene is missing, and there's a card that comes up and says "scene missing." Oh, anyway, so he kills Rose, and then he tracks down the other 3 girls, and that's where it lives up to the Grindhouse title, because we see in lovingly horrific close-ups the vehicles.
Just one after the other. Keep in.
And they're showing off
Yeah.
that entire opening sequence. They're showing off that one girl's legs, and part of me was like,
Mhm.
well,
they're gone.
yeah. On the first part of me was sitting around going, well, Quentin is entertaining his fetish again. But
He's just leaning into the stereotype now.
I think he just teaches, since he doesn't have any real nudity in any of his movies. I think he uses feet where other directors would show boobs.
I think that I've always liked the addition of the feet, like
Yeah.
whether or not it is like particularly personally titillating to him.
Yes.
Feet can be super articulate
Yeah.
and can communicate a lot of things And if this were like a 1970s exploitation film, really low budget, kind of green actors, I think that you would be able to pluck out a better performance from a green actor's feet than their face.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking about what their face would do.
Mhm.
But if you are just in the moment doing your scene, I think for whatever reason, your feet are going to be a lot more honest, so to speak, especially on film versus on stage.
But that
No,
entire whole
interrupting
opening
is fine.
sequence, all you see is like a butt/leg's eye view of that character.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And then you're like, but then again, this is Tarantino, who is the master of Chekhov's gun. So long story short, you know something's going to go on with those legs. And in this case,
Mhm.
they wind up on a
I mean,
highway.
something's going to go off with those legs.
On
Or
their
those legs are
own.
going to go off on their own, become a solo act,
Yes.
record a record, do what you do.
So after the accident,
We're going
you
to
can-
break
you can
Dan
tell-
by the end of this, I swear to God.
After the accident, two of my favorite regulars from Tarantino movies show up, the McGraw brothers, for no other reason than to say,
Yeah, these two. Lord.
than to say, what do you think happened here? He's like, well, I can't prove it, but I can think it, and I do. Some crazy bastard killed these girls because that's how he shoots his goo. I didn't mean to make
You
a
really
rhyme
think
on
that's what
that.
happened? Yep. They all princess died. That took me a second. That line, I'm like, oh, bruv, that's harsh.
Yeah.
I know it's been a minute since Diana died, but
Oh, harsh.
And I love how he's like, well,
I didn't
are we
even
gonna do
hear that
something-
line.
Aren't we going to do
Yeah.
something about
yep,
that?
they all princess died.
Jesus.
And he's like, well, aren't we going to do anything about it? He goes, well, we could do something about it. Oh, wait, hold on.
I could spend every
away.
waking moment
Yeah.
stringing pictures in my off time with red twine up against the wall in my kitchen. But I don't really want to.
Yeah, exactly.
What's great is they actually both appear in Planet Terror too, so they're kind of making an appearance.
In Planet Terror and in Kill Bill.
Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
And
Look,
from
I'm
the-
really
If you
I'm
have
really
access to
excited to
greatness
watch
like that, you
Planet Terror.
oh yes,
And I want to watch the whole thing all together.
yeah, and we'll have to do From Dusk Till Dawn at some point because McGraw shows up in there too and dies in the first scene.
Nice.
God.
Yeah.
Let's face it, by the end of that, by the time he's done with his speech about that lady's kid, you're sitting around, you get shot in the head, and you're like, yes!
I
Shoot
knew
him
it.
again!
So the vibe that I was kind of getting from Stuntman Mike, at least in the first half, was very much, classic 70s horror type movie, where whoever the killer is disdainful of youth, of sexuality, and in particular female sexuality,
Yeah.
and like flaunting it.
Well, there's also an element, it was something that I
Like,
noticed.
how dare you?
Yep.
Give me a hard on.
Right.
Damn you making me aroused and stuff. Now I've got to whack somebody.
Whenever this happened, Mother used to beat me with the yardstick.
That's all this movie's missing is the flashback scene to his mom beating him or holding his hand over us.
No
I'm
more.
I'm gonna add that.
No more hard ons.
Yep.
So now we're in the 80s and shit's
Yeah.
in color.
Yeah, and there's
Except
four.
the opening of that is in black and white with all of that, but that's also a transitional thing. And it's
Mhm.
one thing that you notice basically at the beginning, you have the moment where it's all grainy and this and that and everything else, and then it kind of smooths out at the beginning. And then at the beginning, it's the black and white and all this. And what it really is you're kind of seeing Stuntman Mike vision at that point. He's got a casting call in his head that he's doing. And
Yeah.
that once he's actually decided these are the ones I'm going to go after, things transition in color, everything smooths out. And now all of a sudden we're in our reality and, the whole Stuntman Mike element is gone.
I knew that Butterfly was going to die when her boyfriend called her up on the phone, or she was trying to get, or no, Julia, when Julia was calling her boyfriend on the phone, and they played the theme from Blowout, which is a movie where it's all doomed characters, and they're gonna. So the love story that's not even in the movie between
Yes.
her and this off-screen character has this doom theme. So I'm like,
Yep.
okay, that girl is marked for death.
And for a while there, that number was a working number in Austin.
Oh, which brings something up because John has lived in Austin. Did you ever frequent any of these locations?
Yes. Well, I've been to the Draft House Cinema.
Yeah.
On 6th Street.
Which made a little appearance in the movie.
Yep. And I've been to the Taco Bar.
Oh wow.
And yep.
What's it like to see places you've been in a movie like that?
It's fun. I mean, walking up to it, it's like, you know,
Could you do that again?
Yeah, and then that's the feeling.
So is there four? So the four of them, the girls, the stunt woman Zoe Bell playing herself.
Yep.
And the other three, after they have this kind of cool Reservoir Dogs filmed kind of conversation, that
Car nerds.
yeah. One of them is talking about how Zoe will survive anything and how she's like a cat. She can't be killed. And then the other one's saying, yeah, this would never happen to me because I almost fell into a pit and died. And then, but then, so another character corrects her. Yeah, but you don't realize something. You almost fell into a pit and died. You're smart enough to not fall into the pit. Zoe gets her shit in these situations all the time. And
She's had to develop cat-like reflexes.
Yeah.
She's very clumsy.
Yeah.
She's here for the first. She's here for maybe the first time from Australia, and her dream is to
wait.
I can get my ass.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. It's important.
You don't ever call a Kiwi an Aussie if you value your life.
I'm sorry.
That was incredibly muddled. I'm so sorry.
Just
To any
taking-
actual Kiwis or Aussies, I'm so sorry.
Just taking the piss out of me. Anyway, so her dream is to drive a vanishing point vehicle, which she located.
1970 Roadrunner. What was the cubic inch? 380 cubic inch.
I think it was 400.
400.
It was a 440, isn't it? I don't know much
440.
about cars.
It was definitely for something.
I think a friend of mine, a friend of John and I's actually owned one of those for a while.
Yeah, well, that was
was
a
it white?
Roadrunner.
That was Paul Mandolin, yeah.
Purple.
Yeah.
Oh.
A purple Roadrunner.
Nice.
Nice.
Of course,
Nice.
Yeah.
to me, if you're going to have one, you got to paint it white. Just like if you're going to have a Hemi Cuda, you got to paint it black after Phantasm. You can't just walk around.
Yeah, but on the other hand, there's that part of me that sits there and goes, wow, it's a 1970s stock, really, really cool muscle car. You know what it needs? It needs to be shocking pink. We're talking porn star pink. Yes, God damn it. Do this.
One or the other works. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the car that they owned? It was a Mustang. What?
Yeah, that yellow Mustang. Ooh.
Yeah, Mustang Mach 1 or something.
Ooh.
And it was called, and it had the pussy wagon sticker on the back.
Yep.
Oh, did
I
it?
missed that.
Really?
I was kind of, I wasn't trying hard to like look for nods to the other movies because I know they always kind of show up.
Yep.
The big one was when someone pulled out a cigarette for the first time and I realized, fuck, I didn't look at the box. What kind of cigarettes are those? And of course she calls it out when they're in the convenience store. I'm like, yes.
Red apples.
It's such a small thing, but I'm like, let it be the same.
Yeah.
With the oh my God, I've forgotten the name now. Is it Big Apple Red, Apple Red?
Red apple.
Red Apple.
Red apple cigarettes. And they mentioned Big Kahuna Burger too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big Kahuna Burger. Yep.
You
Wow.
got- you
It was
got a
so
bill-
much tie-in. It was great.
Yeah. So they want to drive this vanishing point car, and
It just so happens to be for sale somewhere in the
Yeah.
area.
yeah. And Zoe doesn't just want to drive it; she wants to play this game called Ship's Mast, which is, I don't know if it's a game that they invented, but she basically.
Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
You guys are here.
Dave's gonna go play Ship's Mast himself.
Dave, it's too
Did you say-
snowy out for that. Get
Did you
back
say
here.
ship's mast or shit's mast?
Well,
Thought you would keep totaling
I am, which is bad.
Or were you talking to me, John?
Huh? Oh,
I said I wondered if maybe I was the one who slurred it.
no. I was wondering if Dave was going to go play Ship's Mast or Shit's Mast. Sorry, that was
Poop jokes.
yeah.
I thought you were above such things, John.
Yeah, well, so
You have met us, right?
so we do episodes that are extremely deep, like Assassination Nation and Igby Goes Down, and then
And
like
then there's
the next
today.
week we're talking poop jokes and things like that. So forgive us, I guess. Ship's Mast. It's a
Ship's
game.
Mast.
It's a game where Zoe gets on the roof of the vehicle. Do you want to get on the roof or the hood? Well, it really doesn't count if you get on the hood. So she gets on the roof, and she's using a belt to stay on, and then they ramp the car up to like 80 miles an hour or something while she's like supporting herself only with the weight of belts and her physique.
Mhm.
And then we find out that Stuntman Mike has targeted them, and he rams them from behind, and Zoe has to try to survive while she's being flailed about
Oh God,
on top of the vehicle.
this whole fucking sequence, it goes on for so long.
Yes.
And I am so afraid for Zoe the entire time. I'm like, just with the flinging
again,
about.
That's kind of like all-time great grindhouse moments where they sit there and go, we shot 45 minutes worth of car footage, and god damn it, that cost so much that every last second of it will be in the goddamn movie.
And every scene is for real, though I don't think there's any CG shots in there.
Yeah.
So
Tarantino has said that he pretty much hates CG, so
yeah,
I think this
practical
was probably,
effects.
yeah.
There's nothing quite like them.
In my opinion, was the best car chase scene I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I agree. It's the greatest car chase scene in a movie, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it keeps you tense the entire time. And I don't remember if I don't think there was any kind of score playing behind them, was there?
Every once in a while, like a Jack Ritchie track from another movie would come in.
Yeah. Like I don't remember any kind of music for that. My focus was all on the action, and that I think that's really telling about something like a car chase that's supposed to be, super exciting, but also like, oh my God, everyone's gonna die.
Oh, she's having so much fun in that film, and it shows.
Oh God, yeah.
She was made for it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, and then so basically, it looks like Stuntman Mike wins, and he drives them off the road, and Zoe goes flying, and we think she's dead for a little bit, and then we realize that she does earn her.
I'm okay.
Zoe the cat. Yeah,
that was so cool. I love that so much.
Popping out of the brush.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, no, that's right. It wasn't even because like you couldn't see her, and she's tall, but she had to, hang on. I'm okay. And of course, the crying, like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking kill you, but I'm so relieved, weeping laughter.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then she's like,
and Mike's over off on this side. Thanks for playing the game. This was real fun. Hooey!
And then blam!
He gets shot in the
Bitch,
arm.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think in the end, that's probably the best part for me in the end is that Mike totally punks out once he realizes that the game is completely turned on him.
He turns into the cowardly lion.
Yeah.
You'd think as a stuntman, he would have like suffered like pretty severe injuries at least a couple of times, even in a death-proof car.
Yeah.
But
And so like what's going on with his arm? He's acting like for a second I thought he got in the car so fast to get away from, oh my God, I can't remember her fucking name. The one with the gun.
Yeah, that one.
What's her name?
So no, yeah, that one. Yeah.
We got to be better about names. But I thought he got in the car. Kim, thank you. Yeah. So after Kim shoots Mike and he loses his shit and gets back in the car, when he's driving the fuck away and like screaming, like he's crying like a little kid who like has received an injury and they didn't think such pain and horror could exist. I don't understand. I thought he shut his damn damn arm in the door. And that was what had him so freaked out. And like, it was all, screwed up.
Yeah.
But no, you got shot.
Yeah, he poured his tequila or whatever it was on it.
Yeah.
And he just started
There's two
screaming.
things going on there. The injury is not just physical. He actually realizes that he's dealing with people who are not going to take his shit.
They're taking all the fun out of his game, and that's just like the worst thing ever. Because he's like a 5-year-old.
You guys are mean.
And the other thing that's going on is he no longer has a cover story. He has a bullet in his arm that he has to explain because he doesn't. He can't just say, "Oh, I was in an accident."
You didn't just fuck up this round of the game. You probably aren't going to get to play another round.
Yep.
So,
sorry.
Yeah. So then Zoe comes up to the car and says, with a big smile on her face, 2 seconds after almost dying. So,
oh my God, her picking up that pole and just like, punk, punk, let's go, baby, my jousting queen. Oh my God, my heart.
I love how she just bashes his arm like a bunch of times with that
fucking
pole. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yep. But I mean,
like all the squeeing, kicking of the feet. Yeah.
The power of this film, though, I mean, we've already seen so much. We've seen the best car chase pretty much of our lives. And then we see this dramatic sequence, begin again with the shot and getting in and the chase again. And then they finally
round 2. Ding ding.
Yeah, they finally take him down and he goes rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fucking rolled him. And then that final fight where they are just like going round and back, all those punch cuts are just it's so good. It's so good.
It's not even a fight. It's just them passing him around from fist to fist. Exactly.
Oh no, this is a biker stomping. This is not a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
God. And the fight is crazy, but there's been some debate about whether or not they actually finish him off. I think that last shot is a death blow.
Oh, that kick in the head.
You can see.
I mean, like
face.
Kim in her cowboy boots.
Yeah.
At least I think it was Kim.
No, it was
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson, my girlfriend.
Oh God, I want to marry
Abernathy.
Abernathy.
Yeah, Abernathy, such a good name. It's really difficult, by the way, to like throw in kind of unusual names, at least unusual for your target audience, and like make it work.
Yeah.
It can either be super, super obvious that you like saw this name somewhere, or you were scrolling down behind the name.com and you saw one and you're like, ooh, that's so like multisyllabic and pretty sounding. I'm going to put that in because it means this thing and it's a motif with the script.
I can't even read Dune because I can't remember that. I'm like, who's Muad'Dib? Like for me, even sci-fi movies, I don't, like I can handle Chewbacca. That's very simple. But like
the one name in Dune that always crossed me up was Duncan, Idaho. For whatever reason, it didn't seem like two words that should go together.
Duncan, Idaho.
What?
Yes.
That's like a destination.
What are you referencing? I missed this.
It sounds like a cast member from the Ice Pirates.
It's like I'm gonna go get donuts in Idaho.
Yeah.
Is that a name of a character in Dune?
Yes, it is.
So the theme, the music, "Chick Habit," which has been a favorite
I was just
song
going
of
to talk
mine.
about that.
Did you know that? Did you know that? Okay, so there's not just the English and French version that we hear in the credits. There actually was a French version in the '60s. It's a remake of a French.
Yes. No. It's okay. All right. So this is a slight. This is a slight deviation, but so I have an entire Pandora station that I have carefully curated for like the last 7-ish years. And it's this kind of weird mix of 60s pop, psychobilly, Meatloaf, the occasional punk song, and the Cramps. I guess they fall in with psychobilly, but that song, Chick Habit, the French version, is actually in there, and there are a couple in there, and the whole thing behind this station is like songs that sound kind of cheery for the most part, and could be easily played over an incredibly violent film scene, because it's a little cliche at this point, sure, but it works for a reason. And this song Chick Habit is on there, but also just hearing it in the English at first while they're still going at Mike, I'm like, I really want to write like a Harley Quinn parody to this.
I can see that.
And I
Harley
also
Quinn
would like to
posts
request,
like, I'm not going to take Joker shit no more.
I also want to request a link to that channel, please.
Yes, please.
We can't forget about our fourth member of that group, who right now is still back at the farm with Hillbilly,
with Jasper.
So sorry, where's my note about Jasper?
Dan's got it.
So she's clearly an actor and or model. No, she is a model, because she shows up in one of the magazines that they snag off the shelf in the convenience store.
Her name's Lee Montgomery. It's played by
There we go.
Elizabeth Winstead.
Lee, that's right. Yeah, they all have like very short 3-letter names. Does the fourth one have a short? Okay, except for Abernathy. We've got Lee, Kim, Zoe, and Abernathy.
It's perfect.
But yeah, poor Lee just getting like, she was dozing off and like, all right, honey, we're going to leave you with Jasper to get to know him better for a little bit. We'll be back. Woo! Pulling out. Kid just look at, and she doesn't make an audible gulp. She literally says
gulp.
Gulp.
Yep. Exactly. So she is left to entertain Jasper after
pretty hair.
After Abernathy alluded to the fact that she would give Jasper a blowjob.
Well, I think we can be safe in assuming that she's okay, because she's the star of the movie that they're all working on. They're not going to just leave her there.
I was going to say, I think they like her, as a person, but also if she's going off with them, they probably have something of a responsibility to protect their coworker.
It's still pretty shitty for them to leave her with him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I have a note in here somewhere that's like, Abernathy, bitch. Like, girl, I love you, but that's cold.
Yeah, they couldn't risk her life, but
her sanity.
She's too young. Yeah. She's very innocent.
So I have a feeling that she's there, and Jasper and her are planning their wedding. And when they get back with the busted up Challenger,
he doesn't even mind anymore.
Yeah, he's like,
you guys, you'll never guess what happened. Look, and it's like,
call it a wedding gift.
Like his great grandmother's ring that he took a little. They were gone for a while, so he had time to dig great grandma up and snag the ring off her finger. And you guys, you just don't know, he's so sensitive.
Great grandma,
and he listens so well. Oh my God, I can't wait to tell my parents.
So great grandma's corpse can be the bridesmaid.
Yeah. Hey, look, take the dress off her too, because that thing was a classic. I'm just saying.
Quentin, if you're watching this, we've already given you the basis for a spin-off movie.
Yeah.
So we want to see what happens after they get back to pick up Lee.
All I'm picturing is that something really bad happens to Jasper, and now it's the revenge film when she goes out and kicks everybody's ass for it.
Yeah, well, there you go. It could be a revenge film within a revenge film.
Yeah.
What if he was just like climbing out of great grandma's grave, and he stands up, brushing himself off, and he's holding up the ring that he's plucked off the corpse's finger, and like, Lee, baby, I got it. But then right at that moment, they pull back in just with like the completely trashed, beautiful Challenger, and it just back into the grave.
He comes up out of the ground, and she's
tied
to the chair in a wedding dress.
Yeah, and he's holding the finger with the ring on it.
Oh my God!
All right, we're writing this movie. It doesn't even have to be a death movie.
We've got to go all in on a script.
Just in the credits, thank you to Quentin Tarantino for your brilliant inspiration.
Yeah.
So My only criticism, and I don't have a lot because I love this movie, but my only
Yeah.
I'm reasonably
criticism
certain
is
the two men who are kind enough to be putting my ceiling back in have decided that we have all lost our goddamn minds.
hey guys,
Hey, guys.
yes, we have.
Hi.
They're
We
getting
haven't
a
lost our
chuckle out of
goddamn
it.
minds.
So
Just
I think we're doing well.
Okay, so
wait
um,
before you crack open your criticism. I'm cracking open another
Okay.
shiner.
my only criticism is that this is part of a movie called Grindhouse, and the mission of the movie was sort of to make a tribute to bad movies, and Tarantino didn't have the courage to make a bad movie. He still made a good movie, and
Yeah.
Robert Rodriguez went all in. He made he made what you were supposed to make, and it was great.
And the thing
Terrence-
is,
I mean,
didn't
Got a
like-
woman wandering around with an M203 on her fucking leg.
Yeah.
and I didn't like the movie as much.
I did. I loved them both. I'm just saying, Death Proof is great. It's fantastic. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying, Quentin is like, well, I'm gonna write a bad movie. He's like, no, I can't write a bad movie. Robert Rodriguez is like, bad
nope.
movie. I've got 6 of them in my drawer over here. So and I thought both of them did a great job, but like Roberts is the actual Grindhouse movie, and Quentin's is like a good 70s car thriller.
I think one of the things that Tarantino did, though, is that he paid homage to not so much the Grindhouse film, but as much to the Grindhouse like theater experience, where you've got the really, really grainy film. You've got moments where scenes have been edited out because you jump cut the shit out of a film back in the day because the actual like physical frames were damaged. And
Right.
things along
Again,
those lines.
those punch kits at the end, just fucking perfect. Fucking perfect.
I don't think it's within. I think that Tarantino, in and of himself, respects film too much to deliberately make a shit movie. But he grabbed a lot of the elements that we all enjoyed from Grindhouse films from back in the day, and now it has me inspired to just sit down and write a totally insane Grindhouse film. But he kept the things like the ultra violence and the bizarre setups and the strange conversations and the
and the bizarre violence
and the bizarre levels and types of violence. And also sometimes the shots linger a little bit too long. Sometimes the angles don't make a whole lot of sense.
Ooh, there is one. Go ahead and finish what you're going to say. I'm gonna make a hand motion over here so I remember to bring this up. Go ahead and finish.
I think he kept a lot of the stylistic elements, but I think one of the things that he wanted to do was sit there and say, there was some actual, almost in spite of itself, good filmmaking that happened in the Grindhouse era. And if you take a look at a laundry list of people who got their start doing Grindhouse films, some of those names are people like Francis Ford Coppola and James Cameron.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ron Howard.
Yeah, I mean, these are all people who, it's kind of like you sit there, and Grindhouse is something that I think we're missing now, and I'd like to see more of. Grindhouse was like the farm club of filmmaking, where you would have in baseball now, you've got minor leagues, so you've got single A, double A, triple A teams, and then you're in the majors. And Grindhouse was where you learned how to build your chops, and you might make it to the majors, but you could work. And to me, I think that is something that he was saying was, look, you can sit there and have a film that has a lot of technical issues, but you can still have a good film. And I think that to me is his homage to the guys who absolutely blew the doors off of films that had no right whatsoever to be as good as what they were.
They're going back to what you're saying, like a lot of the elements that are kind of giving us that theater experience of 1970s Grindhouse films. There's this one bit where they're in the bar that they end the night on, where they meet Stuntman Mike, the first group of gals.
Yeah.
And there's this terrific bad cut.
Yes.
While Jungle Julia is sitting, and it like took me aback. I'm like, oh, I really feel like I'm there, and I'm watching, the fucking real skip because the projectionist sneezed and bumped into the projector.
There's actually sorry, I have to pass this story along just because you just reminded me of something. I was listening to an interview with Malcolm McDowell, and he was talking about they were having issues with Oh Lucky Man back in the late 60s, that it was a little bit too long and that there were some issues with pacing and stuff like that. So they were sitting down and he was watching it with the director, and he had a script writing credit on Unlucky Man. And so they're watching the film and all of a sudden the film shifts unexpectedly from point A to point C. And Malcolm turns and looks at the director and goes, "That is a really great cut. You just saved us 20 minutes and we got right to where we were supposed to be." And the director said, "No, the projection is fucked up and skipped a reel."
Mhm.
So like 15 minutes worth of the film got cut out entirely by accident, but when they looked at it, they went, "No, that actually
it works."
That. Yeah.
One thing that's missing from this movie is to have that. I mean, Robert Rodriguez in his movie.
Totes
I mean,
probes.
like in Robert Rodriguez's movie, he goes, yeah, I'm going to give you don't open the door for anyone. And then the little kid says, "What if it's my dad?" And she goes, "Especially if it's your dad."
Yes.
And then she hands him a gun to protect himself, which is so stupid.
Guys, thank you so very, very much. It is so appreciated.
And then
Have a good one. Yep.
And then she starts walking toward her destination, and you hear a flashbang in the car, and you realize the kid just shot himself in the face. And that's what a grindhouse movie will actually. It's like Rodriguez said, they don't know any better, and they will just absolutely just throw any shock at you. This movie's missing that one really out of place shock for it to be a true grindhouse movie.
Just a quick passing moment where you open up the door, you walk into the restroom, open up the door to a stall, and there's a guy jerking off.
Yeah, that's what's missing.
That is the classic
I don't
grindhouse.
know. I mean,
No point, no reason. It's there. You deal with it.
Hey, even Jacob's Ladder had an outtake like that.
Oh yeah.
So definitely sleazy approved, I think.
Oh yeah.
I was just going to check in, Dan. I was going to say, how are you for time? I know that we're a touch after 2 now.
Probably we're going to have to wrap it up in a minute or two. I feel like John didn't get to say as much, so if he has anything he wants to add.
I had fun watching the movie, and this is one of my favorite films, actually. That's why I chose it. And I just the pace, the fact that I don't know, it's like one of those the pace of the movie is perfect. The dialogue is perfect. The settings are perfect. The cast is perfect. The writing is perfect. The chase scene is perfect. I can't pick out anything that I would have done differently in the film. I can't pick out anything I didn't like about the film. I literally just sit there the whole time, just kind of grinning and being really happy about Rosario Dawson being on.
I was waiting for that.
Oh yeah. Anytime Rosario Dawson, I've yet to see a film where I have not enjoyed her work. Every film I've seen her in from Kids on up, man, she just walks in and you're like, she just makes everything about 20% better simply by showing up.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I just honestly, I can't think of a more fun movie for me that I forgot how much I liked, because I haven't seen it in so long, because I haven't had access to my Blu-rays in like over a year now. So they're all sitting in storage. But yeah, I was so happy to take this one and review it and just live it over again. And Chick Magnet is like the first time I ever saw it, I bought the soundtrack from Death Proof, and I probably played Chick Magnet like 50 times in a row, and it's just such an awesome song. So yeah, press play at least every 6 months or so, because
early and often, because this is a film that
exactly.
This is definitely like a repeat watch. It would be fun to go back and just I'll go ahead and jump here, like press play. I'm gonna smash the play button. I'm so glad that I got to watch this. I really am looking forward to watching Grindhouse together. So Planet Terror and Death Proof.